Minnesota Gun Owners Caucus is expressing concern about Governor Walz's new gun control package that was announced earlier this week. That package contains 15 bills to address gun violence in the state in the aftermath of the Annunciation Catholic school shooting 6 months ago. The caucus says there are some parts it agrees with about involving improved school safety, evidence-based crisis intervention, and better enforcement of existing regulations. But the group is expressing concerns about legislation they say could punish lawful gun owners with new sales taxes and mandatory liability insurance bundled with homeowner or renter's insurance. Mankato Guns, a local gun store, says it agrees with those concerns and has some of its own about the wording of a threat assessment bill targeting violent rhetoric.
If you have a button that says F ICE, or you have a sign that says F ICE, I'm watching my language for TV, is that violent rhetoric? What happens if you have the sign and then later violence occurs? Did you advocate that violence with your sign?
When announcing this proposed legislation, Governor Walz said he hopes that lawmakers will be able to work across the aisle this session to pass actionable legislation for some new common sense gun laws.